Mate, you've been super transparent and sharing lots of, really private details of how you've arrived at the position that you're at. So, um, my final question for you is, which bit of your story mattered the most to share? Which part of your story did you think would benefit the community the most?
Make a decision to take action. So what I mean by that is you might not always make the right decision, but that's okay. You learn from it. You learn from everything. And so I suppose at the end of the day, if you, as I said sort of earlier on, make it a New Year's resolution to pick up the phone, call a mortgage broker, see what your finances are. What can you do? Because then that next step might be purchasing that place, which then goes to another if you want to. And I think with taking one step, like you were saying before, Ben, with having the joggers next to the bed and things like that, if you don't change the way you're going, no one else can. You've got to do it for yourself.
Yeah, well said.
Nice words, mate. Nice words. So, my final question is in two parts. I want you to go back to when you were young and your Dolomite account. How often did you look at that little bank book and see the money in there and study that and see it growing? Was that
Yeah.
something that you did?
Yep, absolutely, all the time. And I think even like the Sunday paper, they had finance sections in there, or I can't remember really, but I know there was finance stuff in there. And so I'd look for the Sunday paper and go, okay, where's it at? What's the domain equivalent or real estate equivalent then? And that was the first part of the education journey, I suppose.
Here's an interesting sort of man of my own heart there in terms of the fact that I did look at my little state bank little book, and I don't know why I did it,
I don't know
but I have
yeah,
these little memories of turning the pages and seeing it going up and down and watching it primarily going up. That's
yeah,
one of my foundational memories that I have about, and I think that is definitely a psychology and a mindset of an aspiring Australian, and it shows up also in the research that they've done around what they do know about sort of 25 to 40% of the Australian population. If you are interested in it and you're looking at your bank statements and you're just taking a conscious
mm,
idea, so you've got this conscious awareness,
yep,
they are the people who tend to take the action the most. And
mm,
our mission is to make those unaware and those people who didn't do that to transform.
yep,
But there's that transformation story for you didn't need to be there.
yep,
And look, just a little side note here. I've run the rental analysis inside Moorr for you on
mm,
the Doolandella.
yep,
And so you potentially, under our analysis here, little Opti's gone off and done her work. You can get up to 670 a week for rent on that property now, and you're only getting around 620 to 630.
yeah,
So there could be an extra $50 a week that you
yep,
can get in rent on that property based on our analysis.
awesome. Yeah,
So
and I
that's
think using the more platform too that's one of the things that's really opened my eyes. Used to be able to do spreadsheets like a lot of people write things down on paper and over the years and whatnot. But that is just an absolute. I've been looking for something like that for years. It's an absolute godsend with that program to then put everything in, look at the calculations, play around with it. Like my wife says, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just playing with this platform again," and looking at the different figures and what you can do, and particularly now having kids, and then looking at the swimming lessons or the basketball and putting all those expenses in and looking at it as an overall summary of your finances and being trying to be disciplined with it versus trying to just write down the property element or this element or that element or schooling fees and things like that. The more platforms absolutely brilliant.
For those who are listening along at home, not watching, Ben's eyes just lit up then, and there's usually two things for
I
that.
just
One is
know it works, Bryce. It works.
one, one is talking about Collingwood, which is enough to put me to sleep, and the other one's talking about more, which I like talking about.